Hey guys, what's up? I'm Pescadi here and welcome back to another excited visual effect tutorial. Today we are going to create something like this. And I will show you a different workflow to create 3D models in this video. So I hope you really enjoy the preview and let's see how we will create this into multiple steps. This video is sponsored by Hyperhuman. Alright, so here you can see I am on the website of Hyperhuman. This is Rodin and here you will see a plus icon, and if I will click here I can easily load pictures, and here if I'll click I can mention the text, and based on that text input it will generate. Before generating the model you will need pictures to generate. Rather than searching on Google, I use another AI to do this. So you can see how I am including AI in my workflow so I can easily and quickly get my desired output whatever I want. So here I am using Microsoft Copilot and I can search the picture. I want to generate a 3D truck model which looks like a toy. So one thing you have to keep in mind whenever you will, let's suppose if I'll add a toy truck, make sure to add on white background so that our AI, this Rodin can only focus on the model. So here you can see these are a few examples, and just like this you can use a like phone or maybe a laptop on white background. So basically I need a white background so our AI can only focus on the specific model. I already generated a lots of pictures you can see on the screen, and I will show you a couple of examples how I will generate the 3D models. So let's move to and I'll click on this plus input, and here I have a bunch of, so let's start with this chair and I will simply click open, and here I can again click on the plus icon and I can load a different picture as well as, but for now let's go with one and let me show you the results. So I will click on generate, and on every process it will take a couple of seconds and it will try to do it quickly, and it also based on your internet speed. So here you can see we quickly generated a 3D models which looks really good for me, and the process is you can see very simple. And the next step is here I have a couple of things, just like this is the prompt, this AI guess automatically, and here I also get the option called redo, and here is the option called wait. So right now I am using one picture, but when I will use multiple picture on that scenario it will help us. Here is the option called redo. So basically there is a 50 times you can redo this, and redo means it will try to generate the same picture once again, and maybe it will do more calculation to make it more refined. So in our case it looks good, but we will try to generate a couple of more. But before that let me try one time redo, because I don't like these things in the corners. And again you can see this is the second result, and this looks little bit good because here I am not able to notice that edge which I was able to see previously, but here you will notice now in this picture behaving vertically, and here this is behave horizontally. So you can go and check one more time the redo and it will do the job, but I like this one as well as, so I will move next. So here is an option called confirm. So if you click confirm it will ask you for the polygons. So this is really good for the 3D artist, because let's suppose if you are going to move for the simulation on that scenario you can choose the lowest which looks good for you. So in this scenario 10,000 is enough, and once I will confirm it will ask me for the 3 credits. So here comes the credit part. So whenever you feel your model is not looking good, you don't need to click on the confirm. You can come back again and play with the different reference pictures. You can keep tweaking with this redo option. So for me I like it, so I will click on this confirm, and is this model is symmetrical? So for me yes, so I will click on this S, and once it will done we will move to the material generation. Here you can see with 10,000 vertices this is our model, and if you want more details you can keep tweaking that number, and I will talk about that thing also a bit later. So let's go here and let's click on this generate option, and once you will move here this will ask you for the PBR temperature and reference strength. So here I will keep the PBR around 5.5 and reference strength, because I want the reference pictures our chair should look like our reference pictures. I'll keep this one and click on this generate, and it will use 1 credit as well as. So here you can see this looks really good, and this AI try its best to make this chair looks like this one. So yeah, this looks really good, and you can see how quickly we generated our 3D model. And here you can also see a redo option, so I will click once again, so it will try to do the calculation once again and try to blend it again. So let's see. Okay, so this one is a bit better for me, and if you are not satisfied, you can keep tweaking this. Let's go to redo once again, and let's make this reference strength to 0.6 and PBR temperature to 8.5, and let's confirm. Okay, so I confirmed it, and now this is our chair, which looks decent. And now this is for the packing, like we are packing the geometry and the material. So here I can choose the FBX if I want. I can choose OBJ as well as. So I will choose FBX, and here this material should be in PBR. So it will use all the, here I can also see the wireframe mode, geometry mode, and the preview mode, and this toon mode, and this shaded mode. So yeah, here you can also see all these things. Okay, so I will use this FBX and PBR, and here I can choose the resolution. So I'll choose 4K because we are not paying any extra credit for that. So I will click on download. So you will notice we spend a few credit to generate the 3D model and generate the material, and that's it for it. So you can see once we're done, it will download automatically. So now let's see a different scenario. Okay, so hit OK and come back again. I will click on this plus icon. Let's try to create a different model. Let's suppose I will create a Lego character. So I can use this one and this one. I'm using 3 pictures so AI can get the reference as much we can provide. So let's click on this generate. So here you can see we are quickly created this model. This is here, this is here, and this is here. Okay, so let's contribute this less and this one as well as, and let's click on this redo once again. So I like this one. You can see I like it. I can click on this confirm, but once I will scroll my mouse cursor over here, I will choose 30,000 and click on this hyper. So basically it will try its best to generate this image in high details. So I will click on this here, and it will only took 3 credits. So I will click 3 credits, and yes, our model is in a symmetry form. Here maybe I'm not sure if there is some gap over here maybe. So anyways, let's click on this yes, and this hyper one definitely takes a bit longer, but it will try to create it more accurately, and it works best when you have a thin surfaces like a bag or glasses or something like that. Wow, this looks really good, you can see. And here I can go to the geometry, preview, wireframe, and I can check this wireframe. So this looks good. I can see good topology over here. You can see this one is really good. I like the topology, works really good over here. So now let's go to the geometry, and this now we are in part of material generation. So I will click on this generate, and here is a PBR and a reference strength. So let's go with the by default and 1 credit. So basically to create any model we are spending around 4 credits, and here is an issue. So I will use this image. So here you can see if I will use a different texture, it will ask us 1 more credit. So I will use this picture for the generation for the full model, and let's click generate. Alright, this looks good. Yeah, this one looks really good. And here I can go to the history as well as, and same like this, I can also, when I was generating the model, I can go to the history, and we can choose all the options which we did previously, you can see, and we can go back and forth as well as. Okay, so I like this one, and if you want, you can go to the redo and down the reference strength around 0.5 and move this PBR to 10, and let's see the result. And before exporting, you should always do all the experiment and see which works fine for you. Okay, not bad. This looks good because now our hand has the same material like here. So this one looks good as well as. So yeah, definitely I can choose whatever I like. So I like this, something like this. Let's go to the redo and let's see the result. Okay, now this looks really good. Let's click on this download option, but before that let's choose FBX. Let's click confirm, and now here I will try to download in 4K and 1K as well as. So textures will be in 1K resolution. So in some scenario, if I will try to scatter these in multiple times, on that scenario 1K texture will be good because we will use multiple times. So I will download this both. So first I'll go to 4K and FBX and download. So it will download this model in FBX and 4K resolution for the textures. And I will go 1K as well as and download it one more time. And I will click out of this UI and it will ask me for the exit and hit OK. Let's click on this plus icon and let's try to generate the glasses. I'll use this one and click open and let's see. Let's go to the generate, and you can see this is the model, but here you will notice some weird stuff going on. So this might will be fixed if we will use this hyper one. So I'm going to use 30,000 and hyper, because hyper is, you can see, finer processing for the thin surfaces. And in here you can see this handle of this glass is thin. So to fix these problems, we always go here and choose hyper. 3 credits and yes. And now you can see this problem has been fixed for the thin surfaces. So yeah, this looks really good. And here I can use this picture because I like this one, and let's click generate and PBR strength over here, and let's reduce it just a bit, and let's click 1 credit and it will generate the texture. So now you can see we have our 3D glasses back in. So you can see this looks okay for now, and next I will use OBJ this time and confirm. So yeah, OBJ and 1K resolution should be fine for this case, and let's download, and it will download the 3D model. Okay, so if you want to use all these reference pictures, I will share this everything free, and you can check these things in my video description. And also if you want to use Rodin, so if you will use this platform through my referral link, you will get the 50% bonus credit when you will do the first payment. So let me show you how you can easily use these things into our real life projects. And I will go to the plus icon visual effect and choose motion tracking, and I have multiple tutorials already available on my channel, so you can go there and check it how I use and do the tracking. I'll just drag and drop and go here, prefetch set scene frame, and I will try to do all these things quickly because I guess you know all these things. And go to the first frame, and here looks fine. Go to the perspective, normalize and make it 0.9, and let's click deduct features and open this dialog and make it 8 and point, and let's click this tracking forward and it will try to track everything. And in the last frame, let's click deduct feature once again and just come back one more time. So now you can see we have all the markers available. Now I will go to the solve panel, press A to select everything, and here I'll just make it focal length, so Blender will try to guess the focal length automatically. And let's click solve camera motion and it will try to solve it, and here you can see the error is 0.32. What I will do, I will go to the cleanups tracks, and here reprojection error, let's make it 2, let's make it 1, and it will try to deduct a few couple of, you can see 1, 2, 3 numbers of tracks, and I'll just delete these. remove it and uncheck it and solve camera motion once again, and 0.25, which is perfect. And now let's click on this setup tracking scene. So first let's select this middle point and let's make this set origin. Let's make it floor, and yeah, looks fine. I think the scale is too big, so I will select this and this one, the origin, and the other one, and let's make the scale maybe like 3, and I will select this once again and make it set origin. So everything looks fine for me. Go to the layout, go to the camera, and looks fine, but you will see this thing is not properly sticking on the ground because this looks like floating. So what I will do, I will select the camera, go to the camera properties and the focal length, and let's divide this by 1.77778, 4 times 7 and 8. And now guys, you can see we are back in the game. This looks really good. If you feel you have to tweak anything, you can go to the motion tracking and tweak these things, but I feel this is pretty much fine and we are good to go. Control S to save this. Basically we need this camera, and rest we don't need it, so let's delete this. Ground, I can delete it, the ground as well as. Let's create a new plane. Okay, scale these things as X. Boom. Let's try to do the lighting as well as. So here I will go to the environment map and you go to the color and choose environment texture, open, and I have the environment texture, so I will quickly open it and go to this shading render viewport and change this to the cycles, make it GPU, and go here, and if you want you can just rotate the environment, but I'm okay with this, so I'll go to the film and make it transparent, and boom, I can use a light called sunlight, and based on that I can see where this object shadow is. So right now I am guess is probably underneath, so something like this can be okay for here. And I can also change the light color, something like a bit bright, I mean the warm side. And yeah, we are done with the lighting. Control S to save it. I'll select these 3, press M and move this into a new collection called reference, and this camera should be go into a new collection called camera. And now let's try to import our model. Let's select the ground and go to the shader editor, new. This will be ground, and let's use this video footage over here, and if you want you can just convert this into the MP4. Here I will just increase the frame numbers, Control T, and change this to the window and make this roughness high. So we got our textures back in, and let's go here and make this render region. So yeah, this is okay for me. Now let's import our model. So I'll go here and remove this import and FBX and paste that location over here. Choose the first one, base, and import, and now you can see this is our chair. I can rotate it and this looks fine. What I can do to create some good looking movement, here I can select this and you can see this is rename this the chair, rename this material to the chair, and let's divide this into vertically so that I can focus the texturing over here this side and all these things one side. So I like this one, and even if I want I can create the animation. So let's create a timeline, and maybe I can reveal this from the ground. Maybe I'm not sure if it will look cool or not. So let's see. Go here, press I and location and rotation, go to the very end, ZZ, and just move it over here, and let's try to rotate this something like that. I, location and rotation, press A, T, and make it linear, and you can see. Let's go to the render mode and let's see how this thing is behaving. So yeah, definitely you can play these kinds of things, and surely I like this thing, man. Let's try to open a different model. Let's go to the file, import, and choose FBX, and yeah, you can see not bad. If you feel the textures are not looking good, you can always select the model and rename this to the Lego character. And here this is diffuse, this is roughness and everything. So in the diffuse slider maybe, or maybe I can just remove the metallic and enable the metallic myself to make it metallic, but I'm going to leave this. And for the color I will use hue and saturation node, and in the value let's make it 2 or just make it 1, a bit bright like this. Or even I can go to the sunlight and just make the strength 2 to make it harsh. Make the angle 1, something like that should work. Or even you can go to the environment tab and just make it 2 to make the environment lighting a bit strong. Yes, I will go to the environment tab, just make it 2, a bit strong. So 3D is always a bit complex if you are going to get something more specific, because you have to tweak those things all the time to get those things right. So yeah, I like this one, you can see, and you can build very big giant things based on these things. Let me do a few experiment for the geometry node. Don't focus on learning. I just want to create for fun. So let's select this model and rename this to the chair. See, based on this we can definitely play things, and something like this. This looks really good. I can select the chair and go to the shading option and go to the plane, not this chair, and I can go to the subsurface scattering and just enable the weight to add subsurface scattering into chairs, which does not make sense. I can select this one, go to the subsurface scattering, high 8, and I can also play with the scale. So yeah, there are a bunch of things which you can play. Even you can remove this color, just make it metallic, and you can define a different color, and yeah, you can just make it down the metallic and just make the transmission high to make it full transparent object. And there are a lots of tweaks which you can do. You can see I can just make the metallic down, make the roughness down, and based on your tweaks you can just play these things. You can see now these things looks like transparent, everything is transparent. I can play with this coat, I can assign a different colors and create a cool picture. So yeah, this is it, and I really hope you learned something new with this tutorial. And the last thing, you are really missing the rendering. Let's go to the render properties and just make it 256, and seems everything is fine, and go to the compositing, and here just leave one node and plug this into here, and same goes over here, and also add a new node called file output node and plug this image here and go to the node section properties and choose PNG if you want, and also just rename the image name. And because we are using shadow catcher for this ground, I will go to this passes and go down and enable shadow catcher, and you can also use ambient occlusion. Go to the compositing, and here let's rename this to the color pass, and one more node for this shadow catcher, and just plug it and define where you want to export these things, and after that just click render animation. And after everything, you can combine those things inside After Effects. I have multiple tutorials available on my YouTube, and this project file will be available into my Patreon page. So yeah, I was combine a lot of stuff in one video, and I hope you really like it. So please subscribe our NPS3D channel, and we will back soon with an amazing tutorial. Until then, keep working, keep smiling. I am NPS3D, and I will be back soon. Bye bye, take care.